Namaskar. Good evening to all. A very warm welcome to all our viewers. Welcome to our today's evening session of the Virasat Talk program being organized by the Intangible Cultural Heritage Department of Heritage Society Patna. Today it's our 88th edition of the Virasat Talk program, and it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome our distinguished and eminent speaker, Mrs. Anita Bose, who is currently also the convener of the Global Encyclopedia of the Ramayana project Ayodhya, Shodh Sansthan. Welcome you, ma'am, to our show. Thank you, ma'am. Madam Speaker will be today speaking on a very relevant theme on the Ramayana footprint in Vietnam and Laos. And as we know, Ramayana has such a great cultural heritage, and it has a legacy to inspire all of the Asia. Madam Speaker will be speaking today on a case study of Vietnam and Laos and how Ramayana has influenced the rich culture of Vietnam and Laos. She will be also speaking on the cultural exchanges of India and the two countries, two Southeast Asian countries. So let me briefly introduce Madam Speaker for those of our audience who are joining us first time. Madam Speaker, Mrs. Anita Bose is currently acting as convener of the Global Encyclopedia of the Ramayana project under Ministry of Culture, Government of India. She is an author, artist, independent researcher, and social worker. She has also acted as a former guide of National Museum in Bangkok and presently holds the office of the convener of the Global Encyclopedia of the Ramayana project. Academically, she pursued MA in literature along with Indology, appreciation of Indian art, and Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. She has been involved in fashion designing and textile designing and was part of VIDA Voice Designer project. For the last couple of years, she has been spreading the culture and heritage of Southeast Asia to the people of many countries across the world through her work. The author has traveled extensively through various parts of India and Southeast Asia, learning their indigenous art form and the cultural heritage. As an independent researcher, she is trying to discover their historical footprints and impact on both ancient and contemporary culture. For several years, she has dedicated herself to research on a vast yet unexplored domain of various Indian art and heritage history, along with Indian influence on Southeast Asian culture and history. Since 2013, she has penned numerous articles on these subjects, and her number of articles has been widely published in esteemed magazines of India, Thailand, and Indonesia. Her book has also been published in reputed national and international publishers. Her first book, Chitra of Odisha and Jagannath culture, has been published in 2018, is considered as a prominent effort in the history of Indian traditional art. In 2019, her remarkable book on the practice of Ramayana culture in different parts of Southeast Asia, which is well acclaimed in various parts of the world. This work got acknowledged from SBCC Bangkok by Indian Embassy, Amity University Gurugram, and the second International Ramayana Conference in Jabalpur, Siam Society under royal patronage of Thailand, National Museum Bangkok, and Indonesia, fourth Ramayana International Conference in Chicago, and by many more organizations. For her Ramayana research work, she has been awarded by Uttar Pradesh Cultural Ministry and Ayodhya Research Institute in 2019. Presently, she is looking after whole global encyclopedia of the Ramayana project as the convener and taking care as the coordinator about Bengal Ramayana research team work for this project. She has continued her efforts in further research. She also got nominated as the author of Indian Influence on Southeast Asian Countries by IGNCA Delhi for her tireless research work on ASEAN culture. Her third book, Saptapadi and Other Story in Kindle version published in 2020, which illuminate on our rich heritage and tradition and wisdom. An artist herself, Anita has been practicing every variant of art she has conceived during her travels and is a teacher herself. She has also been involved in various solo and group art exhibitions in India as well as Thailand. She has been closely associated and do volunteer work with Ramakrishna Mission, Pali Mangal from 2009 onwards, and is associated with number of other organizations. And it is really our privilege, ma'am, that today you are with us, and we have the privilege to listen your field experiences and your insights about your travel journey to different parts of the Asian countries. And we are really, really very thankful to you, ma'am, for having you here. Thank you, ma'am. And I would kindly request you to begin the session.
Thank you so much. And it's a privilege to give a talk in this platform. And what you say about me, it's just nothing. I believe that it's the work of Holy Mother Sarada. And as a followers of Swami Vivekananda, I always try to focus on our Bharat Barsha. It's not India, it's a Bharat. And that's Bharat. What I want to listen and want to learn and want to share that how Indian culture, how Bharatiya's heritage, how Bharatiya culture is going around the whole world, and by the chance for my husband work, we are last 6 years we were in Thailand, and I am working as the first Indian guide of National Museum Bangkok. And that is like a eye opener for me, because how many we know that our neighboring countries are so rich in cultural and heritage. For the ground of heritage, they are belong from our heritage, and the link is so much embedded inside them. So that was the first thing. And when I entered the National Museum Bangkok, I saw the big statue of Rama. And how many in our museum? We can put a Lord Rama statue in front of our museum, but they can't do it. And that is the beginning when I thought that how they do it, why they do it, because some countries they are Buddhist, someone is just like Indonesia, Malaysia, they are believe in Islam, and the Philippines is believe in Christianity. But how Ramayana break all the border? And that is the beginning of my research. And today, what I want to show all the audience, it's a little effort. You can say that it's a very little effort, but I try to focus on that thing. And today, it's take a time because I did research on the 7 countries, and now my research is going on the Vietnam and Sri Lanka. This is the second part of my book is coming on that thing. So today I will share a presentation, and that is on the Laos and Vietnam. So because Laos and Vietnam politically from our childhood, if you think about us, so our childhood, we know about those countries' name for only for the political reason, that how the Vietnam are were with the America or like that, and the Laos is no. We are not knowing about the other part of those countries. Never. So when I did the research and I did find all those things, and I think that why not it is because there are so many conference happen every year, so many project happen every year, but how many common people know about that thing? So I write the book. It's based on deep research, but it's like a story. So this is the people can understand, and that's why I'm making those presentation also. So I think it is better to share the screen with the presentation, and people can understand that what I want to show them. Okay, I think that is the better option. Uh, is it coming now?
It's not
Uh,
coming, ma'am.
yeah, I just try. I think now it is.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
is coming now. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just I will go through the whole. I think this is the thing. Okay, can you hear me and see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am. We are able to see your presentation, ma'am, and
Yeah.
also able to see.
Okay.
You
So
can change it, ma'am, into slideshow format. So it
yeah,
will
yeah,
zoom
yeah.
out.
Is it easy?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. It is now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my book name also the Ramayana footprint in the various Southeast Asian countries, and now today I am showing the Ramayana footprint in Laos and Vietnam. So before we went to the Laos or Vietnam or any part, but we have to understand that how Indian influence went to Southeast Asia. Because Indian influence, it's not only the religious influence, it was a trading route. And that trading route was very important for whole Southeast Asia and for whole Indian history also. So our vessels was went to the from India to it's going to the Thailand, then it is going to the Indonesia, Sumatra, Bali, even few part of China, and it is far away from the from our country, the Philippines, and those places also. So the Indian traders reach there, Indian religion reach there, and Indian culture also reach those countries way before very many years. And here you can see a clear map, and then you can see that how they went there. But I don't go into the deep history because the time is not permitted there. I think many of us we know about the Chola kings, the Shailendra dynasty, the Srivijaya dynasty. Here in the Bengal, it is the Pala and the Sen dynasty, the Pal kings and the Sen kings. And those people are really conquered many other countries, but not by the. Hello, could you hear me? Hello,
Hello.
could you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we are able to hear you, but your PowerPoint has disappeared, ma'am.
Just a minute. I will start from the beginning. Just a minute. I think I stop somehow. Uh, just a minute. I will. Sorry for the discontinue. Okay, I am continue the share screen, and uh, sometime it is just a minute. Sorry for that. Is it coming?
Yes, ma'am, it is coming.
Okay, just a minute.
Uh,
Yeah, I will go back to the where I was, and then yeah.
you
Okay,
can,
now you can see now, no? Yeah.
yes, ma'am, and you can click on hide in the there is a dialog box in the bottom of the screen. You can click on hide. That dialog box will disappear. Yes,
So
ma'am, you
I
can
will
click
click.
on. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So yeah, so the people as we are worshipping Ganga, Mother Ganga, or Narmada, they also worshipping one river that is known as the Mekong. I think many of you know about the Mekong River, but actually the pronunciation is the Mai Ka. That is the one kind of Ma Ganga. So the worshipping, and you know that when the Kartik Purnima we are celebrate here, the whole Southeast Asia also celebrate Kartik Purnima in a different way. And in Thailand, it is known as the Songkran. They also float the diyas. They also pray for the ancestor, and they also pray for the good future. And they float the diyas, and it's decorated in the flower pot and those things. And they also pray the river god, because whole Southeast Asia, and not only Southeast Asia, you can say the Asian culture is based on the agriculture, and agriculture is related with the river, and the trading also related with the river. So there are so many people who went there, who lived there, lived each part of the place, and they make their future there. But it has happened with the they exchange their thoughts, they exchange their cultural thought, they exchange their religious thought, and slowly people are absorb the Indian culture. And here it is known as the in Luang Prabang, it is in the Laos, it is known as the plain of jars. And that plain of jars, actually it's a ancestor, it's like a cremation site, or what happened people don't know, but it's a very ancient sites where people are making big jar, and they put it on the ground. And some people say it's a ritual site, and some people say it's a cremation site. But Laos have, this is the first point where the historian said that Laos had a great impact of very Indian influence there. And this is the beautiful Luang Prabang. And the once upon a time, one great archaeologist, George Swedes, he said that Laos is just an outpost of Indian culture. Why? Why they said that thing? Because how many we know about the Laos? Laos is now it is Laupedia, and that Laupedia once upon a time it's known as the 1 lakhs white elephant. Is called the official name of the Laos was the Laupedia, and that is also known as the Xian. That Xian means the lands and home cow. That lands and home cow is actually the lakhs of the white elephant lived this country. So they're known as like this way. But that Laos also they have so many ancient sites and which is very much related with our Indian culture. One of the main is the Bhatpho temple. This is called the Pakshi. This is the place name was the Pakshi. Laos have different place. Vientiane is their kingdom, but they Laos have Pakshi city, they have Champasak city, they have Luamprang city, and in that Champasak or Pakshi, you can get a beautiful temple. That temple is known as the Wat Pho. They in Thailand, in Laos, in Cambodia, Wat means the temple. So that Wat Pho temple in Laos, they have beautiful sculpture. They have beautiful. You can say that this whole complex is an outstanding example of the integration of symbolic landscape and the great spiritual significance in the natural surroundings. Because if we go through our temples, our old ancient big temples, you can see there are huge area and the structure, the gopuram and the garbhagriha, the Nat Mandir, everything was there. And the same thing happened in the Bhatpho. So this Bhatpho is who made this temple and where it was made. It was on the top of the Mahendra Parbat. That mountain name also the Mahendra Parbat. So who is the Mahendra Parbat? The presided deities is Shiva. So it is known as the Bhadra Bharamana Shiva temple. So this Shiva temple, I went there. I went there and I saw that there is a they have a small museum. They don't allow to take the picture from the museum, but you can see inside the museum thousand of Shivalingas, thousand of Shiva image, the Vishnu image, the Garuda, everything is scattered there. So this part of the temple, this temple is very much related with the our culture, and you can get the Hindu sculpture. I don't know. You can see here the Indra in the Indra, and then it is the Kaliya Daman. The Kaliya Daman, the mid picture is for the Kaliya Daman, and this Kaliya Daman or Kaliya Nag is a very famous in whole Southeast Asia. If you go to Thailand, you can get it. If you go to Cambodia, you can get it. And one another thing is the Shumatra Manthan. So those stories, those culture, and those heritage is continue till date continue because we don't know about that they have Ramayana. We don't know that their new generation also participating in that way, and it is very surprisingly I got a chance in 2016 the Ramayana festival in Bangkok, and that Ramayana festival is like 10 countries of Asian countries they participated, and there I first time I saw the Ramayana played by the Lao people. And what is the name of their Ramayana? The Ramayana in Laos is in the literature form, in the performing art, in the painting and the stamp, everywhere. So they have Lao Ramayana is known as the Gavadaravi, and the second one is the Brahmachak or the Brahmachak, and the third one is the Fralak Fralam. So this is the three way Ramayana is Laos is their life in their modern life till they are continue, and they are different form of the Ramayana heritage in Laos. You can see the beautiful postal stamp where the Hanuman and the Matshakana, this is the symbol of that story. And in the left side, you can see a old structure, and that old structure is known as the Nang Sida. And who is this Nang Sida? It is believed that it is the palace of the Sita, the Sita is known as the Shida. So that's why I can say that that Ramayana, when about the Dr. Perala Ratnam and Kamala Ratnam, who was the ambassador of Laos in the 1975, and before that, Dr. Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, the great historian Dr. Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, he wrote about the Hindu countries, the Hindu philosophy in the Far East, and there he wrote one thing about the Laos, and Kamala Ratnamji was mentioned from that Ramayana in Laos tradition, Majumdar already quotes an eyewitness account to the Tianxin, a vassal state of Cochin and China, in the 5th century AD, which says that there were 600 merchant families, 200 Buddhist, and 1,000 Brahmin families from India. The people of Tianxin follow their religion and give them their daughters in marriage, as most of the Brahmanas settle in the country and do not go away. Day and night they read the sacred scripture and make offering of white vases, flowers, and perfume to the god. So what they read, actually they read about the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. But in Southeast Asia, except Indonesia, the I think I whatever my personal experience, that most of the acceptable, if you see that the acceptable literature or the following in that your daily life is that is the Ramayana, and that's why it is a Buddhist temple. This is the Wat Siang Thong, the Buddhist temple in Luang Prabang, and it's a beautiful, magnificent masterpiece of the Luang Prabang. It is the Shita, the fire ordeal of the Shita Agni Parikha or Agni Pariksha, whatever you so the and you can see the whole temple is made by the Ramayana story, whole temple, but it's a Buddhist temple. This is the thing. It is a Buddhist temple, and inside and outside there are so many beautiful wooden sculpture because lacquer work is very famous in Southeast Asia. And this Rama story on the wood is a beautiful Rama story you can see. And as I told that there is a Paksi and the royal palace in Champashak, and once upon a time it was ruled by the Prakasha Dharman. There's those kings in the 5th century, 6th century, 7th century, and this is the it's not the old one, but this is a new castle. Just few years back, also the king of the Luang Prabang or king of the Laos, they stayed there, and we went in a study trip from the Siam Society, and we stay in that hotel. Now it's a hotel, and in the dinner time we went to the top of the hotel, and I saw the beautiful painting in the ceiling. And as I wearing the Indian dresses, the shari, and the people asking me that from which country you came, and I saw I am coming from the India, and then they told me that just look up the ceiling, and I was amazed to see that the whole ceiling of the hotel is painted by the Ramayana. So the feeling that it is almost 3,000, 4,000 kilometers away from my country, and is the Ramayana depicted inside the royal palace, and they really, really love that thing. So the Fralak Fralam is a Fralak means that Lak is the Lakshmana, and the Fraram is the Ram, Lord Rama. Fra, this Phra, this Fra is actually depicted the higher position. It's like a guru. It's like a guru, or the crew says it. And in Laos, they have a um, mm, very prestigious historic background, and EFFO, the France Society of the Ecole, they are doing work and they are researching on that. And nowadays Indian ASI, Archaeological Survey, Archaeological Department of India, also they are working, because in the Laos they have so many. I just give a little bit example of those Ramayana part and how the Ramayana influenced till today. And I will say one story that they are, though they follow the Buddhist culture, but in the Buddhist story also they have Jataka story and Dasharatha Jataka. So that Dasharatha Jataka is very similar to the Ramayana, and you know the people of those Laos and the Cambodia. in the village, if they have some problem, like they have some drought, they have some disease, they go to the temple, go to the monks of the Buddhist monk, and they have a beautiful gesture. They have a beautiful you can say that their system. They pray to the God, Lord Buddha, and then requested to the monks that please tell us that how we can relieve from this problem. And then what the monks are doing, they open a Ramayana. They open a Ramayana book and they close the eye. They put a small stick, which page they open. And if they open a page and they read that, okay, Sita is abducted by the Ravana, or there is a fighting scene of the Ramayana, that means your problem is very critical and it's take time or something bad happened. Then they say doing those pujas and doing that thing also like that. But if they put the stick and it opened that Sita came back with Rama, or it is a beautiful, any positive story. They opened their place, and that means your problem will go away very soon, and it will become again. It will be a positive way. So this is the belief. This is the respect for our culture. This is the belief for our culture. And I ask those students who are who play the Ramayana ballet, and they are very young. They are very talented. They are, most of them are from the universities or the school, and they came to Bangkok, they played the Ramayana, and I asked them, I personally met few people, and then they said this is the passion, this is the very, then this is also respect, and this is also privilege to be part of a Ramayana group. So Dr. Sachidananda Sahai, I know him very well. He did a very deep research on love Ramayana and write many books. And in Laos, they have different type of dance, and those dance is known as the, the name coming, all the name related with the Ramayana. How it is? That's like a lam hong, lam mor, lam mor, lam hong, lam khon. So this lam, because the pronunciation of that part of the globe is a ram, but they are pronounced as the lam. So this lam or ram is inside the Lao deer, and the people of the Lao are very much doing. Still, they give the respect. Still, they continue this Ramayana legacy in their society, in their life also. So, what is my experience that Ramayana is not only a epic, it's not only a Hindu epic, or it's not a life of Rama, life of other character of the Ramayana. People of the Southeast Asia taking it as the life of their own, and they really, really follow those things till date. And now, because this is a one another part is the Ramayana in ancient Champa, or the, that the Vietnam, once upon a time it is known as the Champa. That ancient Champa, it is mentioned in the Champa and the Cambodia and the Shamdes. Shamdes is the Thailand, and the Cambodia is known as the now Cambodia. So this is all those things are the ancient link in our scriptures, and I think many of you remember about the how we do the, that broto katha in Bengali. It is said that the broto katha, or the how the daily rituals, the books where it is written about the daily rituals and all those things, there you can get all those names, and in the uh, Mahabharata also you can get those names. And this Champa, ancient Vietnam, and they have also one Ramayana. That Ramayana known is the Pradit, Pramdit, Pramlak. So that Fra here is the Pram. And I am very much curious that how they say add the name Adit, because Pram Adit, this Adit also the, the Aditya. one of the another name of the sun god, the Aditya. So the Pramdit and Pramlak is one small example of the how the Vietnam people, the Cham people, they know as the Cham people, they had their link till they continue the link, and this country is really the on this country the deep impact of ancient Bharat, because the Champan, the maritime trade route in Asia in the 6th century, 7th century, we had the, and not only the maritime trade, I think many senior people can remember that once upon a time India had a good relation, the marriage through the marriage, because other countries they do the marriage relation, and so there the queen came from Champa or king came from Champa, so that is also once upon a time that's also happened. And Champa here in see in this map you can see that how the Champa or the Sham or the Vietnam, they related with the other part of the globe, and India, the 3 point of mainly the Bengal and the southern point of the Bharatvarsha or India that time, it is very well related to whole Southeast Asia with the trading. So it is continue up to 15th century. And what I say about the Laos, this is the also the very important, that Linga Parvata or the Mahendra Parvata. This is the landmark of the Lao and Champa, both the countries. This is a very important landmark, and the ship going to the Nanhai frequently mentioned in the Chinese chronicle and the Chinese history, that they recorded as like a Chiem Bat Lao or Leng San or Ling Chai Hi Po, actually Lingo Parvata. This Linga Parvata have a very important role in the whole Southeast country, Asian. And this Ramayana, because many of we know about the Mason, that Mason ground is a very huge. I think if Mason was intact, then maybe it's larger than Angkor Wat. But for the carpet bombing of the time of the Vietnam America fighting, that all those things are almost destroyed, but few things still alive till they have something. So Ramayana is depicted on the base of Mai Temple, that is from the 10 to 12th century. And in 1927-28, the if you are the person land group or try to the excavate those places, and they find very interesting thing, and the royal citadel also the built during the 3rd or 4th century. And they also find that they have the Chinese influence, and the same time those citadel, those places, those palaces, they have all the Indian tradition and in the Indian trading too. So you can see the Ravana from the Vietnam sculpture from the Mae Hong song and that area. And here it is the wedding of Sita and the Rama, and the Apsaras are dancing and the singing from the heaven. And this piece is coming from one big Shivalinga and their altar. So another is the Chandan Temple or Chandan Temple. This Chandan Temple is mentioned various time in the chronicle of the Chinese chronicle and the scripture of there. And this is a group of temple of the 11th to 12th century. You can see here the fighting with the Rama and Ravana and all those things. And nowadays the Cham people are, they have some ethnic community living in the southern central part of Vietnam and keep their own traditional culture, in which Ramayana has been told as the Pramdit and Pramla. And the story is written in Cham language and based on the main theme of the Ramayana, composed in a very short version. Actually, what happened in Southeast Asia, they don't always follow the Valmiki Ramayana. They followed the Valmiki Ramayana, Combo Ramayana, Prithivashi Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramayana, and this is the one kind of mixture. But the main thing is what I saw, what in my experience is that the few characters they never change. One is the Rama, Lakshmana, Ravana, Sita, Hanuman, Vibhishan, and few main stories they never change. But some places Sita is the daughter of the Ravana, some places Sita is the sister of Ravana, but it is also, I can say that that is also in our, because in India also we have various Ramayana. and they have different stories. So, but basically the Rama and the Lakshmana and the Sita is same. And here it is the this is the big Shivalinga, and you can see in the Shivalinga altar the Ramayana scenery or Ramayana sculpture is sculpted there. This is the wedding of the Sita on the Thrakyu altar. It is from the 7th century, and this altar was made by the King Prakashadharma during the 657 to 687. And this is the thing in order to dedicate it to Valmiki. I'm very sorry I don't put the temple of the Valmiki temple. And in whole Asia, I think the first temple which is dedicated to Valmiki, that is in the Vietnam. So I don't know how many people we know about that thing. So there is a very different aspect of the Vietnam through this Ramayana I got from this, and this is the scenario of the Rama broke the bow. And King Janaka sent the message to the King Dasharatha. And in the third picture, you can see that people are coming to taking the various gift coming from the Dasharath to the King Janaka, and the marriage is happening. So this is the Mai Temple group, and this is also from the 10th to 12th century. And as I say that there are various, the community and the different type of people, the local people in Laos and Cambodia and Philippines and here also in Vietnam, the ethnic group of the people, and they are not following the proper Buddhism or proper Hinduism or proper Christianism or the direct Islam, but they are the mix. They are the mix of their own culture. They don't forget about their past. They don't forget about their ancestor culture. So they try to till date they try to continue those things, and you can see all those Vietnam temple also very much similar to Indian architecture and the structure also that. And here it is the called the Poklonggarai in a Ket New Year festival. They have a festival named as a New Year festival, and that this is the Porom temple. And these people are the Brahmins, and they are making the program of the they have some dance and some drama, and they offered the temple and for the new year, and they sang the song and they dance from that Pramdit Pramlak. So actually, I want to do the deep research on Vietnam because I covered already the 7 countries of Southeast Asia, but Vietnam is my recent work, and I have to wait for the pandemic. I could not went there, so I have to go there and I do the research on more and more, and then I think I will got more information about those countries. And it is that why why I want to say that because uh, we know a part of history. We know the European history. We know the outside that there are far countries history. But how many we know about our neighbor countries? How many we know that they are basically based on our culture? They are basically doing the they live our culture. They love our culture. They love our tradition. They live in this tradition, and this Cham ethnic people are doing the same thing. So in this way, I write down this book that the Ramayana journey transformed now in a book form, and this is the Ramayana footprints in Southeast Asian culture and heritage. So, if anyone want to read this book, they can get lots of picture. They can get lots of information because it's not possible to say everything in a short program. But I will be very happy if anyone want to do more research or more work after reading my book. That will be also very privilege for me. And thanks again to the Heritage Society for giving me opportunity to give a presentation on the Ramayana in this beautiful audience. And I believe that if you like this presentation and you can ask the question, I can go through that thing. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful lecture and a very thought-provoking, interesting lecture, and your presentation on the cross-cultural exchanges between India and Southeast Asia, and also the movement of Ramayana over the large transnational routes that passes from India to different neighboring countries, and how this the tradition and rich culture of Ramayana has in fact influenced and enriched the culture of other countries. It's really a privilege, ma'am, for all of us and for all the heritage lovers to go through the presentation. And thank you, ma'am, for the very for a very interesting presentation with full of pictures and motifs and different kind of sculptures and art figures that you displayed from the different historical sites of Vietnam and Laos. So thank you very ma'am for much ma'am for that. I
Anyone,
think that
thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And if anyone want to ask something, I have to hear to telling.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I think maybe we are receiving so many comments for the moment. Maybe there some questions will come
Okay.
in a while. But if you allow me, ma'am, then maybe I was little curious to know a little more on first that when we move to Indonesia or to Thailand to other places, we also find that the whole story setting is also they feel that this whole story setting is in their in their geographical landscape. For example, in Indonesia, there is a Ayodhya. They also believe that whole Ramayana plot was set up in Indonesia and not in India. There's also story in Thailand where Ayodhya is considered as
Right, yeah.
Ayodhya.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So did you also encounter, ma'am, similar kind of stories in Vietnam and Laos where the Ramayana is there also as
Yeah.
well in their geography?
No, the Lao people are not saying that the Ramayana from their land, but the thing is that this Mon people, the Cham people, there are so many different ethnic group. Uh, and those Mon people, and very interestingly, when you ask, then I can say that when I read about the Cambodia, so the Cambodia is known for the Khmerus, but how many we know that Khmer people? When I entered Thailand, in the first thing in my museum, the people are saying about the Khmer people. The Khmer people are who is this Khmer people? And then I came to know that the whole Southeast Asian, because see, the people are coming from the trading route, the Brahmins are coming from there, and each and you say that they have Ayodhya and they have other places also, which is known as the Kishkinda also. In Thailand, they have a place in Kitkin, and that Kitkin, they believe that it is from the Kishkinda. So they have one mountain, and there is a big hole, and they believe that when Ravana took away to Sita, the wheel of the chariot is broke there, and that is the thing. So this is the thing, that how the people are interesting, and mainly Thai people and Indonesian people, they believe that the Ramayana from their part. But I met personally many professors and archaeologists of the Indonesia, and I think we were discussing about the Majapahit, the greatest Hindu dynasty of the Indonesia. So the Majapahit people, they ruled up to 15th century, and how do we know that thing? So we don't know about that thing. For that reason, they feel, what my personal opinion, maybe they feel that for the Ramayana or for the Mahabharata, how much we are proud, we don't know, but they are really proud for that. In Indonesia, in Yogyakarta, Brahmanan Temple, and I think many of you know about that. They they perform Ramayana in every night. There are two session in the Ramayana in Jogjakarta, one from Prambanan Temple and another from the Pura Visatha. Pura Visatha is a private organization, and they are also continue last 43 years non-stop. They playing the Ramayana. And when I ask them, because they are not Hindus, all are the Islam followers of the Islam, and I ask that why, sorry, you people are doing Ramayana every night, and then the manager told me Ramayana is our identity. So how many we people are can tell that thing Ramayana is our identity? So what they said that Indonesia means Ramayana. So it's a very big statement, a huge statement, and that's why they said that Jogjakarta, this word is from Ayodhya. Joggokarta. They actually said Joggokarta. And in the ancient time it is said the Ayodhya. And they believe there's a one perfect king was there, and that is the Rama. So it is, I think it is in their blood, you know. That's why they can put the name of the. I got three guides when I went Indonesia and totally tour already. I think 14 days I continuous roaming the mainland, and three of my guides' name was, one is the Surjoano, another one was the Adi Brahma, and another was also I think Ganesha, like that. So this is the thing. I must say that if someone want to focus on our history, they have to go to Indonesia. They have to go to the Vietnam, because the Champa was an incredible state, and they are so they're strongly powerful. And still date, if you go to Maison in Vietnam, you can see the 70 temples. The whole complex was full with the 70 temples. It's a huge area, more than bigger than Angkor Wat. So they should proud. Maybe we cannot do it, but they can do it. Mm.
Definitely, ma'am. I was also a part of a research fellowship program in Indonesia for a year, and I was very fortunate to visit Prambanan and also to see the Ramayana ballet that is being performed in the courtyard of the just
Ramanan Temple.
adjacent to Prambanan Temple, and it's such a huge performance and a wonderful performance. In fact, I request other viewers also, maybe they get an opportunity sometime to visit the place, and I was very happy to see how Ramayana is embodied in the whole culture of the Indonesia. And in fact, there is Ganesha on the currency of on the Indonesian currency, and there is Dwadapala everywhere on most of the
Yeah,
places or historical monuments. You will find it. So there is still something that they still carry out
yeah.
there. And when I,
That is the essence. That is the essence of the Ramayana. That's why I say that it is not a religious only thing. It's
yes.
breaking all the barrier. Ramayana break all the barriers. So now the Chicago, I a few days back I attended the Chicago International Ramayana Conference, and I saw the people who lived there, but they try to the different part of the globe. They lived there and they try to put the Ramayana ballet in front of the skyline of the Chicago, and it was so beautiful feeling that how people will continue. So that the thing that the Valmiki ride down that Jabat mountain and the river are flowing, that unless and until the Ramayana is also flowing, it is true. It is true, very true. Maybe we could not understand to sit here, but when you go outside, when you see all those things, why are you making the presentation? Because if I only telling, people maybe don't visualize that thing. People maybe don't believe that thing, but you can see, you can go.
Definitely.
Yeah, and this is the book, and this is the book in the Bengali and English both language, and this is the thing that I went there. It is all the photograph, most of the photographs I taken from there, and there are so many researchers, they are really working on hard those things. So it's a wonderful thing that you people give me chance to telling something about the thing, and I believe that if only one people, also anyone who can get interested about our culture to know it, that is the my satisfaction that okay, I can write something that which can be help for the new generation. That is the thing. Mm.
Thank you, ma'am. It's really a privilege, and congratulations for your publication, ma'am, and your new publication will be coming out on the
Thank you.
best basis.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you so
we
much.
have received a few questions from our audience. There is a query from Ansuman Tripathi ji. Uh,
Hmm.
Anshuman ji is asking, where is the Valmiki temple in Vietnam?
Okay, that Valmiki temple in Vietnam is around the Maison area. I will write the perfect area name, and there is a picture. The global encyclopedia of the Ramayana logo is made on that particular sculpture. The Manisha, the Pratishtang, that the Kronch and the Valmiki, that the thing. I will post it in your Facebook page and give the perfect description about the areas and all those things. I think it will be great. But it is near Mason. Mm.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. There is another query from Sankar.
About the Ramayana date?
He is asking, madam, if you can please. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, you know that I am not a specialist about the date of Ramayana because there are so many people who are working on the Ramayana dating and the perfect timing. But according to the astronomy, it's not astrology. According to the astronomy, people said that maybe it is the 5,000, more than 5,000 BC. But the recent work of Dr. Nilesh, he is showing that it is the 12,000 BC. So I am not a person to telling about that thing. But you know what is my perception and why I do the research? That I just want to see that one epic and how it's influenced so many people. Why it's influence? Because it's not only a myth. If it is myth cannot be continued so long, and so many people, so many dynasties, so many researchers, so many common people, they give respect. They are doing respect, they are doing that they really uh, lived in this life. So it is not the myth, it is my belief. And the Lord Rama is not the only can you hear me? Hello, may I audible? Hello, may I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Sorry,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. No, it's okay. Okay, so that's why I say that I am not the expert of the dating, but what is my experience and what is my feeling? That why are only looking for the date? Why not we feel proud that our epic, our Rama, our heritage is following by so many countries. This is the most privileged point of my life, that this is our thing and that is followed by so many people. They give respect. They give respect. The Thailand king taking the name of the Rama. Huh? So they all the Brahmins family, they went there and they are reading the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. So this is our privilege. We should feel proud. We don't quarrel about the dating. We should not quarrel about that what is the written before and what is adding by the later. But what we have, we should feel it. This is my point of view. And as the followers of Swami Vivekananda, I always trying to find out that how the Indian culture, how the Indian heritage is properly and really acceptable, and that it is people are giving the respect, and the shraddha and the is respect cannot be translated as the shraddha, but shraddhavan lavate jnanam and shraddha dadatu vinayam. This Shraddha is very much important for all the people, all the civilization. And those people, I can say I lived there 6 years. I can feel that the people, those countries' people, they give that Shraddha to our heritage rather than us. rather than us. Till date in Thailand, they said Swadika. Each time, this Swadika is coming from swastika. In Bali, if you went, they will say, telling you Suasti. That Suasti also coming from swastika. But how many we people are do every time do the namaste or namaskar? Not doing. But they are continuing. They continue the thing. This is the thing I feel very privileged to know about them. Mm.
Yes, ma'am. True, ma'am. The most important thing is that Rama is the epitome of all the human qualities, and this is what has inspired for many thousands of generations and has been
Yes,
remain a guiding philosophy for all of us and for many different civilizations. So,
yes,
what is the most important in Ramayana is the Ramayana itself, the story that picture is each and every day, and that the thing that which inspires and instills in our whole philosophy in our lifestyle. So definitely, ma'am, we have no other questions, but if you allow me, I have a small curiosity while I was going through
definitely.
your presentation. As you rightly pointed out that the festivals that are being celebrated in not only in India but also in different parts of Southeast Asia have a very close similarities that they share along with themselves. For example, the Dana or the ancestral worship that take place in most part of the India, and that starts during the that in Gaya area where there is a Pindadana ceremony every year, and we have a similar kind of festival or rituals that takes place in almost all parts of Southeast Asia, and for that whole period of time. We have also we find that many different kind of festivals such as Thai Pusam festival, which is being celebrated in South India, is also being celebrated widely in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in many other parts of
Right, right.
region. So the Indian diaspora that has took the festivals far and wide across the nations, across the civilizations, from thousands of years, and those festivals has been embodied in their culture itself. So I wanted to know how much we have the possibility to study the history through the movement of festivals. I mean, how much festivals itself can be a source of studying the history of a particular region, ma'am.
It's very important. What you raise the point is very important, and I think Delhi IGNAC, IGNCA, they are actually they requesting me to write down on that thing, and that project is pending till date. But I will be very happy if I can do this thing, because you know that in Orissa they have Vaita Bandana. They have one Vaita Vandana, and they make the small boat and float it to the river. Same day, same time. Thailand make the same thing, and that is known as the Songkran. So sorry, that is known as the Loy Krathong. Loy Krathong. That is known as the Loy Krathong. That is followed in the Cambodia also. So why this is? Because if you see the map, if you see the trading route, if you see the how the ancient people went there, why I telling about the Chandraketugarh? Because the Chandraketugarh is one of the most important port that time. So people are going through those places up to the Rome. So if you say something that the only the after colonization Indian people are get civilized, it's a very bad factor. Very, I don't believe it, because then why people are taking our thing? Why people are encouraging to come and stay our place, and they are offering, you know, that till date in Thai king, in the Cambodia, in the all the Southeast Asian royal family, they have their own Brahmins, and that Brahmins ancestor belong from our India. And till date, the king went take the coronation ceremony, the 108 pots of the auspicious water coming from the different river from India. So
Yes,
why?
ma'am.
Why, if we don't have anything, why people are following us? So we have the first point is we have to know our history. We have to feel proud for our culture. And then it can be understandable that why, if you go to the Mariamman temple in Thailand, in Bangkok, in the time of the Navaratri, you can see the 9 days festival. they don't get any non-veg that time also. And each one have a beautiful Kali Ma or Durga Ma, the small idol, and they put it in the head and they take it in the roadside and they pray it. And that time, the ninth day, the Navami and the Dashami, the whole area is surrounded by the police and no one entered the site because they are offering the worshipping and that they are not the Indian people, they are Thai people, Korean people. I think you remember in I think 2016, in Thai Bangkok they have a Brahma temple, Brahma temple, and they had explosion, the bomb blasting by
Yeah.
the some people because it is not worshipping by Indian. The most of the people come from the Korea, from China. They worshipping Brahma. And that was a main point that you people have to give a fierce news that you attack. But my point is not that. My point is that why many countries, why they are enriching by themselves by our culture, why they worshipping our thing. If someone can get the answer, and this is the point the festival is coming. So Diwali, nowadays we all know for the social media that how Diwali is celebrated all over the world. So the celebration, actually, the celebration have a strong power to gathering many people in a one place and communicate your vibration. So this is because in Songkran in Thailand, what is they said actually Songkran, that is very similar to our Holi. They also played by the water. They also use a white color of powder, but not the color one. But if you go back to the Chola period, you can see the map that it is actually related with the agriculture. The rice cultivation and they sell it and they got the money and all the traders come back to the country. So at the same time in Bengal it is Poila Boishak or Noboborsho. In Assam it is Bihu. In Punjab it is Baishakhi. So these all are related if you go through the map. Okay. So there is a good chance to write a book on this. Thank you very much for the point.
Thank you, ma'am. I was also remembering when you were answering the question. I was remembering one another festival, Phuket Vegetarian Festival, which is being celebrated in Phuket, has
Yes,
also
that
close
is Navratri.
similarity. Has also close similarity to that of Thai Pusam festival, and where there is very similar kind of rituals. However, the festival is all about nine goddesses that comes from Taoism, from a very different kind of religion that originates in China.
Yes.
So we have such a very interweaved tradition and networks, very complex web of networks on which different kind of festivals moves all together and creates a very different centers or spots of dissemination of those ideas over those transnational networks of roots. Once again, ma'am,
So
thank you for.
and I want to say that this Tao festival, this nine deities, and this is also the day known as the vegetarian festival.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and one of my friend from China, and she told me that Anita, I never knew about your Navaratri, but when I came here and then see the Navaratri in Bangkok, and it is so similar with our Tao festival of the nine deities. So, who was those nine deities? And very interestingly, last point, as a museum people, I got I just write an article on the starting how the museum word came and in Greek people are very much fond of that everything is from the Greek and all those things, and in the Greece they have a temple that is also the nine deities temple, and that temple is known as the Mose. So that the temple of the Mose and the music, and that is of the nine Kumari Devi. So, so just find out the link, and I am sure that people will find something. So this is a
Yes,
very
ma'am.
interesting thing. So we can talk thousand words on that. And thank you very much for a beautiful, your coordination. And thanks again for giving me Heritage Society to giving me the opportunity to telling about few things.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today in our evening session of the Virasat Talk program and for giving such a very wonderful lecture and presentation on such a very relevant and topic that, in fact, opens up a wide scale of research themes for and opens up new debates and dialogues for young scholars like us
Yes,
to work on and ponder on how different ideas have evolved and inspired different civilizations for over more
yes.
than 2 millenniums. So thank you, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank
Let me
you.
convey my vote of thanks at the end of this today's evening session. First, on behalf of myself and on behalf of Heritage Society and its thousands of followers, I convey my gratitude to and my privilege to thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I also thank all our audience and all our followers. And in fact, we have received so many we received questions and so many comments during the whole session. Thanks to all of them for supporting us and for encouraging us in all our academic endeavors. It's all because of your support that we are running this program, and this is our 88th edition of the program. So thanks to all the Virasat Mitra, our followers, our audience, and our sincere thanks to our chairman and director general, Dr. Ananta Devedi of Heritage Society, for running this program and for channelizing the whole Virasat Talk program. Thanks to all the directors, all the staff and officers of the institutions, in fact, for this whole program. So thank you, everyone, and stay with us. We will have more and more sessions. We will have more and more speakers joining us in coming future. So stay with us, and we will have more sessions in coming future. So thank you once again to everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Thanks
you,
so much.
ma'am.
My heartiest respect to whole team and your director Anandji and all the team member, and definitely to the audience, because without audience no program is successful. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Namaste.